Kind of a touchy tripod going there.
I think we're just going right here.
It's for earthquake shooting, huh? Kiku, have a seat.
Randy, I want to ask what we are talking about.
Which one?
When we get back, go back in time and do something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's just get some ground. Please, if we ask a question to Billy, let Billy answer completely so that there's no overlapping dialogue.
Okay. Okay. You know, last night we were talking about if you are in the ship and you go back to the year 32 and you die there, and we weren't clear. If you die in 32 on a trip, your spirit stays there, then it has to live forward again. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So you wouldn't come back to 1988.
No.
You stay in 32?
No.
Yeah?
You still have to spend the life again.
Again.
From that time, from the past to today.
So you'd have to go from 32 all the way back to 1990, huh?
You need to come over here. Let's put you over here. Keep your running so
Cause of shadows or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The difference between spirit and spirit form.
Oh, okay. I think we can just talk a little bit about spirit forms. It's probably the easiest. The spirit forms that we are, what is the difference between spirit and spirit form?
There is no a difference because spirit form or spirit is exactly the same.
Yeah.
But if we are talking about the human being, we are speaking from the spirit form in the human being. And generally we speak from the spirit.
Mm. Okay, so the spirit form goes through many material lives. And what is the purpose of the material life?
The human have to stay in a material life to study, to learn, to get a good evolution. That's the reason why he lives.
Mm.
And when he dies, the spirit or the spirit form goes to the other side and is studied there too. And if the whole study is fulfilled there in the other side, then the spirit form returns to the earth into a new human body. And then it starts everything from the beginning again.
Is it possible to be born on another planet than the one you die on?
No. You are on this planet, if you are living on this planet and you die, then you have to reincarnate on this planet again. It's impossible to leave this planet as a spirit form because this spirit form is fixed to this planet where the material body died.
Mm. How long does it take to come back into a new life?
The normal turnus is by 150 and 2 years. But now, in the new age, the new time, there is everything changing. Because there is a big overpopulation and all of the laws are somehow broken, and the spirit forms who goes goes to the other side, they have to return out of the normal time. Maybe they will be in the other side for 10 years or 30 years or 70 years, and not 150 and 2, and then they have to return. And these all about the overpopulation we have on Earth.
Is it possible for us normal people to contact the other side?
No, it isn't. There are around the world 16 people who are able to get contact with the other side, but not any one of them will go out to tell somebody I am able to do it, because it isn't necessary and it isn't the right way to do this. It's absolutely wrong. If somebody says he has a contact with the other side, with people who died, then he is a liar.
No, he's confused in his thinking, yeah. I think
a liar or an actor or something like that.
A foolish person.
Foolish person.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, many people think they are in contact with people from the other side, and that the other side is a world just like this, and they go visit them all the time. Mm-hmm. And on the other side is only the spirit, right? There's no personality.
No, there isn't.
Yeah. So
you see, and there is so many people around this world who says that they have contact with the other side, or with aliens, or with demons, or devils, or what you ever like. That's all not true. That's the most of them. It's illness. They have an overturned mind. They are sick. They are what?
I think sick.
They are out of mind.
Mm-hmm. Do the Pleiadians have the ability to know when a woman is pregnant, for instance, on a Pleiadian world? Can the Pleiadians tell who the spirit is coming in?
Yes, they have the possibility.
How soon can they tell? When do they know?
They can do this in a very short time, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they go to recognize what's happened there, which spirit is there in the new baby who is created. They have the possibilities on a meditative way.
So that helps them understand who the spirit is then.
Yeah.
So they have a better ability to help that person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think this would be good for school, for education, then.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say?
I'm trying not talking public
Oh.
Yeah, 5 million people worry.
Billy, one of the most common questions is, there are a lot of people on Earth, and many people would like to know, if it's possible, why did the Pleiadians contact you? Was there a special reason?
That's a special reason. Because I'm the single one on Earth who is able to have knowledge and a physical contact, or knowledge telepathic contact with the Pleiadians. There is no any other human being on Earth who is able to do the same thing like I do. And this has a very long story. It goes back to a very old time on the stars of the Lyra picture and Vega picture, and to a level who is called Arahat Aterzata. And my spirit form was very long time ago, million, billion years, trillion years ago, in the level of the Arahat Aterzata, and came back to the human world to teach the people in the truth about creation and their law.
You say the level.
And this happens on the Lyrian planets, so, and the vegan planet, so, and then at later time on the Earth too, because the old Lyrians and vegans came to Earth, and the old spirit form of Mai came with them as a human, in a human being, who was teaching the people here on Earth. And then on Earth we have a very true line from the oldest time up to today, where I have done always the same job, the same mission.
Do you think your mission, will there be more lifetimes for the mission?
Yes, there have to be.
Mm-hmm. Are the Pleiadians, I think the Pleiadians are related to us somehow, that many of us maybe are Pleiadians, some people think, or Lyrians, and are there...
There are not Pleiadians on Earth. There are old Lyrians and vegans on Earth. There was a leadership by 144,207 different people, and they was leading all the Lyrians and vegans who came from the star picture there to Earth by some 50 or 52 million people from Vega and Lyra. And if we have alien spirit forms on Earth, then only Lyrians and vegans, and from the planet Malona, who destroyed in our solar system. And these are about around about 50 or 55 million too. And other aliens we haven't on Earth, without them who are coming here for visiting or exploring.
So many people who think maybe they used to live on a Pleiadian world, and you think there are any spirits here that used to be Pleiadians?
No.
No.
Pleiadians, not.
Really, one of the more interesting things, I think, of the stories we've heard about is your time travels. It's very fascinating because time is something that's very difficult to understand for all of us. And I think one of the things many people would like to know, if you can go back in time, like you have in the ship, is it possible to go back and change history? Can you change right now if you went back in time?
No, you can't change history.
Oh, you can't?
No.
What would happen if you went back, say, 100 years and changed your parents or caused them not to be born? You can't.
It's impossible. You can't go back to kill somebody that he not shall be living today. It's impossible. It's not possible to go back to change your parents. What happened, what was going on, this was going on and is not changeable. that's a little bit a funny idea of the human being to can do something like this, but it is impossible.
I think in the movies they
Because in the movie you can do such things, but in reality it's absolutely impossible because there are laws and then you don't can go to break because these are laws of the creation, and the creation with the creation you can't play, and too not with the laws.
Billy, at one of your time travel trips, the Pleiadians made it possible for you to go visit Emmanuel. And who was Emmanuel? Is he a man just like us, or what did they tell you about him?
About whom?
Emmanuel?
Emmanuel, he was a man like us. He was nothing else.
Did they have? Did the Pleiadians, were they involved somehow with Emmanuel's life?
I don't understand.
At the time Emmanuel was here, did the Pleiadians, were they involved with him? Did they talk to him or help them? Was there any contact with him?
Yes, they was connected to him. They was working with him together.
And what did he tell you
and
about?
They was working on the same mission as today, together with Emmanuel. And he was working on the same mission too. And this mission goes back through the year 389,000 from now.
Do the Pleiadians have a special message for us, or why are they contacting us through you?
The special message we have from the Pleiadians, we have all written in our books. There are about 10,000 pages, and the most important point of this message is this: to teach the earth people to the right way, back to the creation and the creation laws, to live with them and for them.
In the movies, they usually portray extraterrestrials as monsters or dangerous or using their ships to, harm us. Do you think we should? Is there any fear from the Pleiadians? Maybe you could tell us something about the creational laws. You talk about creation, but what is the laws of creation? What do you mean by that?
The creation laws, the mostly of them you can find out in the free nature. If you are looking at the animals, the plants, the flowers, the trees, the whole life who is going on in the free nature, there you can find out the laws of the creation. What is the truth, how it is working, how it's going on, everything on the right, free and lawful way. And other laws you can find out through meditation, through initiation, through your feeling and through your own thinking. And if you get a clear hearing, clear feeling, what you need in the meditation too, clear seeing and everything like this.
You have a question?
Yeah. Does that mean that every spirit that comes into this planet does not have accidents, that they come in physically prepared?
Each spirit form who goes into a body of a human being, if comes a woman pregnant, is completely by good health. The spirit themselves, or the spirit form, how you like to say, is not able to come ill, to come sick. Doesn't possible. And the body of the baby, of each life form, has the right to be absolutely uninsured on body and spirit and mind and everything when it comes to this world or each other world in the space out.
What's life like with the Pleiadians? What are their lifestyles? Do they use money? Do they have cars?
No, they don't use money. They have other system. They work 2 hours a day, and they have a check card. And if they was working these 2 hours a day, everywhere they want, they don't have a special place where they have to stay and to work. They can go around the world, everywhere, to work where they want. And this check card will be checked by a robot, by a machine, and then they can get everything they use and they like for living, for life, for luxury.
Do they have a big city like here on Earth?
They have big cities, not on the same size like our cities. There are separated, what you call, the house in the city, the houses in the city or the buildings in the city. They are like a square, and the room, the space inside is free for plants and trees and flowers, or for siesta and all this. It's each building the same for what shall I say, for this kind of life, what they are having there. And in each building there is just one family by maximal 5 persons, the parents and 3 children, and not more.
I think also, do they have marriage like we do?
They have marriage, but how they do the marriage, I don't know. I haven't any idea. I only know there are the spirit leaders, or the spirit leaders who put together or bring together man and wife. And normally a man has between 1 and 4 wives. Something else as we have here on Earth.
Is it possible for the women to also have many husbands?
No, they have one husband.
A civilized planet.
At last, somebody got it right.
And the other buildings, the other houses they are outside of cities, and they are separated in squares by 100 to 100 meters. And there inside is always one house only for one family.
Do they live longer than we do?
Yeah, they have around about 1,000 years.
Is that because of medical advances or science
The whole evolution. And too, the old Lyrians and the old Vegans, they had a very high lifetime.
Billy, what is the Gemut and how do we learn to work with it?
What is?
The Gemut? Gemut?
The Gemüt. Das Gemüt. That's the spiritual part. I have to say it another way. The Gemüt is the spiritual part of that what we have in the material part, the psyche.
So it's the counterpart to the psyche on the material side of the mind.
Yeah.
I think it's like a sensor or something you said that connects us to creation.
You see, the Gemüt is in the spiritual part the same thing what we have as psyche in the material part, in the physical body, and the Gemüt is working on the same wise as the psyche, together with the wisdom and the feeling of the spirit, like the psyche in the material body with the thinking and the feeling.
One thing I know people are curious about is why we're born either a man or a woman, and do we go back and forth? And if you are a woman, do you stay a woman for a long time, or does it go back and forth?
No, you can change this from lifetime to lifetime. If you stay in this life, you are a man now, and do you like to be a woman at the next lifetime, next reincarnation or next incarnation? Then you have to program yourself, your mind, we have again the word
consciousness.
To get a free line to be at next time a woman.
So we have control over that.
You have control over it. But if you not are clear working, you don't know really want you now be a man or a woman, then it will be a little bit wrong at the next lifetime, because then you will be a homosexual man. If you not know what you will be really, if a woman or if a man.
So you must make the decision with clear thinking.
Yes.
And if you leave this life without clear thinking and you are confused if to be man or woman, then maybe you will come back homosexual.
Yeah.
Do you make the decision on the other side to be a man or a woman, or that must be first in the material life?
This you already up in your mind in the material life.
Do we have...
You will set in the material life the directly line to be that or that in the next life.
Mm. A lot of people are...
But you have to be careful about homosexuality. There is other kind of homosexuality. The second one is made out of a disease.
Disease?
Yeah.
Like a sickness?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it possible?
But both you can change through teaching. If you are teaching such people who is homosexual, you can help them maybe by what you say, psychology.
Oh, psychology.
Psychology.
Yeah. Help them with their thinking.
Yeah.
So if someone is homosexual this lifetime, then you can help them get their thinking clear, and the next time they will not be homosexual.
Yeah. Or maybe it's possible to change it in this life, that they come to real good thinkings and feelings, and they can change in this life. That's absolutely possible.
Is it possible to, if you choose next lifetime not to be physical, can you get into what they call light body?
No, that's absolutely impossible. The human being from the beginning, from the earliest beginning to that point when he comes a light body or a spirit body, how we say, it takes between 60 and 80 billion years, with several thousands or billions of incarnations or reincarnations, how you ever would say. It's absolutely impossible to have 3 incarnations or 1,000 incarnations on this earth, and then you will be so clever to get out of your body to come a light body or a spirit body. Is absolutely impossible. The earliest point you need will be by 60 billion years, with several billions or millions incarnations or reincarnations.
After we evolve into light body, and past that we evolve back into creation, does that mean that the central...
This takes a very long time.
Yes. Does that mean that the central core of the universe, the central sun, is that spirit forms? Things that used to be spirit forms have now evolved into that?
The central form or the central sun, what you ever will say, that's the creation spirit, the going out of everything from our universe and of every life form. And there we will go back one time very far in the future. If you are in our evolution so high to be able to get the connection with that power. But there are, if we as human live or lose our bodies and grows up to a light form or spirit form, the first step, what I told you, between 60 and 80 billion years. Then are other levels with several trillion years and quadrillion years. It goes higher and higher up to the highest point, and the last one is the level of Petale, before the creation herself. And from the Petale level, it's possible to get the highest body of spirit, the finest body of spirit, to enter the creation herself, to come once with her.
You have another idea?
What are these things that we have called emotions?
What's in German?
Anger, hate, jealousy, fear.
Are we born with those?
Emotions, we say Emotionen.
Yeah.
Emotions. That's made out of the human being himself. He makes himself anger. He makes himself love. He makes himself everything what's falling into emotion. And motion have to be controlled by the human being. That it is giving out a point of evolution, not on that way that if you are angry goes to kill somebody or to hit somebody. Motions, they are always on this kind, like the human being, them use or prepare, always wrong. They are not good. You have these motions to use them on this way that you start to control them, and the best thing what's going out as result of them to use for yourself and for your evolution. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Billy, there are many people that are fascinated with the continent of Atlantis. Was that a Pleiadian continent? Did the Pleiadians have something to do with Atlantis?
The Pleiadians have nothing to do with old Atlantis. The old Lyrians and Vegans had something to do with Atlantis. I mean, some parts of the Lyrians and Vegans who had stations here on Earth, who was living here on Earth, but they got trouble together and so, and then they destroyed Atlantis through an Adonis. This means a small or a big asteroid they brought to Earth and destroyed Atlantis with them. We have a story, Semyase told us such a story about Atlantis and what's happened there. It's all written in the contact notes.
I read that. It was fascinating how it all came to an end. Yeah. There was a city called Mu that they had a...
Mu, I think, was the capital city of the enemies of the Atlantis people. And Mu was, how I know, or I think, in the Chinese desert.
Are there any people left from Atlantis or Mu, or any of them still here?
There shall be some people left, and they shall live in underground cities near the Himalaya, India, and they have bluish color on skin. I have seen it once in India, 3 people with bluish color, and I think they came from there. It was absolutely abnormal in India to see people with blue skin.
Would kind of stand out, would Billy, speaking of colors, in our galaxy, are there a lot of other human life just like us?
Yes. There are some more than 42 million different human races.
With many different colors of skin, I suppose.
With some around about 340 or 350 different colors.
Mm-hmm. Are many of them visiting Earth?
No, not many.
We hear many stories.
The Pleiadians, they told me there will be about 3,000 or something in-flyings to Earth atmosphere each year by UFOs. But the mostly of them are such ones who are exploring the Earth, and also are they always the same races, the same people who comes here. There are not many aliens who comes to Earth. There are some, of course, but not so many how the people is telling around the world.
Yeah, they seem to be landing every day in California.
Yeah.
Where did the American Indian come from?
The American Indian was one of the first 3 races who was created here on Earth.
How were we created on Earth? How were we created?
You mean the first man?
The first creation of human, this was what shall I say? Schleim.
A lot of it still exists.
How did it happen?
You know what's one celler?
Yeah. One cell, like a single cell amoeba, or?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The first human on Earth was starting as a one celler. And then he came as a whoppering kind of something. And drew out of them slowly came out and growed up the body of the human being.
Did it start in the ocean?
It started in the ocean.
about the theory we came from apes?
That's absolutely idiotic.
Where did the apes come from?
The apes, they have the same thing like the human being. They came after the plants. At first was the flora on Earth, and the flora had fallouts, not radioactive fallouts, I mean fallouts of their bodies, and they mixed themselves together, and then came out a new kind of living form, one-celler again, and then they grow it up to more-celler, and then comes out slowly fish, and out of the fish came later the apes and other animals on land, because the fish was going on land, and then came the land animals.
Do the Pleiadians...
And then when happens this, when was here all the flora and the fauna, also the plant life and the animal life, they had the same way to go, and they put out some stuffs, what you call amino
acids?
Yeah, amino acids. And they put them together too, and then was growing up slowly the human being. It's also not made out of the apes.
Billy, we have a lot of problems on Earth that we all know about, and many people think maybe the Pleiadians are coming to solve our problems. Are they going to help us in any way that you know of?
No, they will help us. The single way they help us to bring the teachings, what they belongs to our mission. I can get informations, or I got informations, and I can write down them and then give out to the people. That's the only thing they help us.
So it's up to us.
Yeah. They not come here to make peace, they not come here to make war. They not have any ambitions to overtake the earth and the earth human and everything. They aren't interested in this. They only feel them somehow, what you say, guilty?
Guiding, yeah.
About their forebears who have done trouble here on earth, and now they want to bring us back the teaching, the spiritual teaching, and the teaching about creation and creation law and right, life and everything.
With these teachings, if a person wants to learn to evolve, and for the initiation, how do we begin?
The first thing what the human have to do to begin to study through the meditation he has to listen to his inner voice. That's the first step. And to keep these things, what's telling the inner voice, and to work with them. And the second thing is learn to see, to hear, to feel, to speak on a very clear way. And then the meditation themselves. And if the meditation is done after some years, if the meditation is coming clear and good, then the human can go a step higher, and then he can do the initiation. And this means he can begin to start to talk with his inner voice, with his
consciousness,
and with the spiritual part in him.
Billy, are you still having contacts with Semyasi?
The contact with Semyasi ended on 84. Then she left our planet and left our universe to the dull universe, and there she is now living for the next 70 or 72 years without any returning to our universe. The contacts with Semyasi, they are also gone, but still there is sporadic contact with Da, with Quetzal, Dalida, and all them.
Did Semyasi have contacts with anybody else while she was here?
No. The single contact Semyasi had all the time she was on Earth was with me only.
Do any of the other Pleiadians have contacts with people on Earth?
Not on a way that the contact person knows that there is a contact. The people, there are between 24,000 and 25,000 people around the Earth who get contact impulses from Pleiadian and Bavi people. Bavi, it's a race who is working since very old time together with the Pleiadians. And also 25,000 people have contact on impulse base. Also, they don't know anything about that they have contact, that they get impulses from outside, from aliens. Not any one of them. And there was two other persons in Germany. They had telepathic contact to the Pleiadians, not by Semyasi. There was some other people responsible for them, but these two people, a man and a 16-year-old girl, they died in the meantime. They had an accident in Italy. And the reason for that that these two people had contact, telepathic contact with the Pleiadians, was this because they should come to inform the people about my mission, that everything I'm bringing is true, and that I'm working on this mission with the Pleiadians. They was something like a proof for me, but they died by accident. And now I'm the single one who has telepathic contact with the Pleiadians and physical contact. And there is no any connection between the Pleiadians and any other earth human being, if man, if child, or if woman. There is just really nothing. And each one who comes and says, oh, I have contact with someone from the Pleiadians, from that planet or from that sun system, from the Pleiades and all this. That's all, what you say, swindle, hoax.
Nonsense.
Nonsense.
One of our favorite words.
Yeah. There is around the world not any one person more without me. And the other thing, what all they who says that they have contact with the Pleiadians don't know, is this: the Pleiades, what you can see on the night firmament, there is not any possibility for human to live there. The Pleiades, what you can see on the sky, they are too young as they can carry life. The planets, they are there, they are so young, there is no life possible on it. Too not by the suns, they are too young, they are really blue. And that's a thing what all they who say, oh, I have contact with Pleiadians, not knows. There is not one human being there up on the Pleiadians.
Nobody home.
No. Pleiadians, the Pleiadians, they say that they are coming from the Pleiades. They say this about that point. They have a second part, a little part, or a short part of a second, different time out of our time, of our room and our space. A point where are the Pleiades. You know, if here are the Pleiades we can see on the sky, there are in another room space other planets, and they call them by the same names what we call the Pleiades, what we can see from here on the sky. But it's in another room time, much more finer than our room time and room space. And their structure is much more finer as our structure, as human being from the earth. And it's impossible for them to shake hands with the human on earth, or only go near them, because it's very dangerous for them. And they also are out of our room space, out of our time space. They are not there where are our Pleiades.
Billy, what is telepathy, and can we develop it?
Telepathy, that's kind of hearing too, of listen, but on a very, very fine way. You use the ears for this telepathy. We call it the primary telepathy. That's not the real telepathy. The real telepathy, that's spiritual telepathy, and this goes on and is based on symbols. But the primary telepathy is working on words and on pictures, real like a photography or something, a body or something, what you can produce into other human being through his air and through his
consciousness.
Are there exercises?
I never learned.
I think we're going to have to give the kitchen up soon, but before we stop, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got a couple more. Are we able to evolve far enough in this life to be able to get into the Akashic records and to learn our personal keys?
Well, first of all, maybe you could tell us, what is the Akashic record?
The Akashic records is, we call it by another name, cosmical Speicher. There records everything that's a level around the sphere, around the earth. And there will be recorded everything what is doing a human being, what he is thinking, what he is feeling, what he is speaking, what he is doing. Everything will be there recorded. And if you die and return in another incarnation, you will get impulses from there. And then you get eine Ahnung.
Unknown.
And then you know things, you get results without knowing from where. That's all made out of this Akashic record. And sometimes you can find people, but they are very, very few only. They can use the Akashic records for getting impulses out of there from other people, not from himself, because his frequency is very near to them of the other one, who he can get impulses from them. then maybe can be a drawer or a writer or a componist or something who get impulses and then you say, oh, that's Michelangelo. He have contact with Michelangelo, but he haven't contact with Michelangelo. He only get impulses out of the Akasha records from that frequency who had, especially what I told you, Michelangelo.
How do we learn to use the keys? How do we learn what our keys are?
Through the meditation too. Everything you will do on spiritual way or on consciousness way is going through the meditation and initiation. Always. There is no other way.
Billy, we always talk about the word love. What is it?
Got a few days.
It's impossible to tell you in a short way.
But there is a thing called love.
Hmm?
But there is love.
There is love, of course.
And it's not intellectual, it's spiritual.
I don't have the translated word. There is a short way to say what's the law, but I don't know to tell in English.
Okay. But I try.
Maybe if you ask Bruni, he can tell you, he can translate you.
I think maybe we can kind of finish, and if you have maybe just a message to everybody about the information the Pleiadians are bringing us. Maybe just something you'd like to say to people about, a message from yourself about the mission.
And can you look here?
And we'll finish. I think something about how it might be useful to information, or how to learn to be 100% responsible for themselves, or just some reason why they should pay attention to all the information.
You see, what I have to say, each human being, what he is doing every time, at day, at night, week by week, month by month, year by year, he is always responsible for himself. There is not a God who is responsible for the human doing. There are not angels. There is not holy people who is carry for the human being the responsibility. The human being always is responsible for everything for himself.
Oh, yeah. This can be short. Some years ago, Wendell Stevens, I think, made a model when you were taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the pictures are floating around America, and maybe you could just a short question. Why they made the models?
There was made 2 models, and I think Wendell Stevens and Lee Elders and Tom Welsh got them by a student for each $400, I think. And they brought them both to here when we was filming for the movie Contact. And then we tried to make some of these models flying by a stick and a string. And this was all filmed by these movie people. And one of the models I got for myself as a present, as a souvenir, and this I still have in my office.
There's just one last question. And that
Okay.
Could you explain the role of the Figu?
Oh.
The role of the Figu, it's simple. They have to correct everything what I am writing down, to clear up it, and then to print, to make books, and to bring out them to the people over all the world. Two, with the mission to teach the people in the creation laws, and with everything what happens around. They have to do a hard work, and they have to learn by themselves, they have to study themselves, they have to meditate, to make initiation and everything. They have to learn who are they really, and what they have to do in this life really. And they have to be here for all the people who is interested in the mission. And the most important thing, our Figu members, the mostly of our Figu members, are belonging to the old Lyrians, and they are staying under a codex what they have fixed up several thousand years ago, and they stay now under this codex, and for this codex they have sworn at that time they have to work for it now. And that's not only with our people here in Hinterschmidrütti, in the Semiate Silver Star Center. The same will be in the United States, like we have the same in Japan or in Sweden. They have to fulfill their mission, what they was saying for it we will doing some 389,000 years ago.
I only need one other thing.
Just one more. Come on, I need the kitchen back.
I only need like 20 seconds of just quietness, so in case we need to put room tone in.
Let a door.
Use that in
Thanks, Bill. That was real good. And we'll, a lot of good things that we can use in there. That'd be really good.
Just give me 20 seconds of absolute quiet.
You know, the best thing what you can do, you translate everything and read it in English.
I know. It'd be so much easier with everybody read it. Well, it's coming to that eventually.
Or you study the German language.
Yes, that may be a shortcut
That's the best way.
for many people, I think.
I need 15 seconds of quiet. That's all I have.
Okay, 15 seconds.
5 seconds left. Yeah, what you like to know?
Oh, I could ask questions all night with you.